Bees are on the run. I gotta catch them back before they swarm on me. There they are right here. Our hive down here got too populated, so they split. The process of them swarming, they have scouts that go out, but before they go to their final destination, the queen does a flight. All of the bees follow her. So she is right here on this limb behind me. And basically all I'm gonna do is shake the limb into the nuke box down here. It's just a small little beehive. Hopefully by shaking them into this box, they're gonna stay in the box. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know yet. So here we go. So I got some smoke here just in case, a brush, and I'm basically just gonna shake the limb here. See how they do. You get one last shot of these guys. That's what a swarm looks like. They're just covering that limb. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's drop this hive. 3, 2, 1. So now here's a big test. I gotta find the queen in there somewhere. They'll actually all go, they'll congregate over to her. So they're kind of off the limb now. Let's see where they go. Right now they're mostly to the left of this box. So oh yeah, they're marching in. They look like they're marching in. See how they're all going this way. They're all going over to the box. Basically the goal is here is that if I shook that limb and the queen fell and she got down in that box, then they are all actually going to just congregate around her. See if we can find her. Basically, I'm looking for little clumps because they congregate around her. Of course, there's still a ton of bees up there as well. Put a frame in here. I'm gonna shake it one more time. Looks like they're still marching over, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna shake it one more time. Put another frame in here. Shake it again. Whew, it's hot out here. It's like 87 degrees out here in the Midwest. This is part of beekeeping. Basically, if we were better beekeepers, then we wouldn't allow this to happen. So what we would do is we would set up the atmosphere so that the bees are wanting to split the hive. Basically, that is how they reproduce. Honeybees reproduce by colonizing real big, and then they produce a queen and queen cells. But before that happens, as a beekeeper, you're supposed to be inspecting the hive to see when those queen cells are being built. And when they're being built, it's an indicator that they could be swarming soon. And so we weren't watching this hive. So basically it's hit or miss, whether they go 100 feet up in a tree, or in our scenario here, we got super blessed and they went to just a bush right behind the hive. Basically what you would do as a beekeeper is you would take that queen, that new queen, and you would put it into a new hive, and you would split the hive in half. So you would take some of those bees from the old hive and you would put them into your new hive, and then you have two hives. And so that's how beekeepers reproduce their colonies. That's how they get more bees, more honey. So in this case, we are not diligent beekeepers, but sometimes we get blessed with a scenario like this. Let me take off my veil. Sometimes we get blessed with a scenario like this, where we're able to catch them. So hopefully, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let them just settle down, and once most of them are in that hive body, which is the box behind me, I'll put the queen separator in, which is this thing right here. And basically, these cells are too small for the body of a queen to go through. The queen's if you know anything about honeybees, the queen honeybee is a little bit bigger than the rest of the bees, so she can't fit through these cells. And so what she'll do is she'll just stay there, and hopefully the colony will decide to stay there, and we will put them back on the stand over here, and we'll have another hive. We'll see if that actually happens. I'm actually happy with the number of bees that are in the hive, so I'm going to go ahead and put the queen separator on. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm just looking over the hive, making sure I don't see the queen. Because remember, if the queen is outside of this hive body, then all of the bees will congregate to her. So I need to make sure she is inside that hive. I've been talking about a queen the whole time. I'll actually leave an image of a queen on the screen right here. And as you can tell from this image, the queen has a really long abdomen, as in comparison to a worker bee or a drone bee. Drone bees are just big fat bees, and then worker bees are just kind of the smaller standard honeybee that you know of. But the queen bee has a real long abdomen, so that's what I'm looking for. Some people actually mark their queens so that they can spot them way easier. They'll just take a little piece, a little dip of paint, and they'll put a little dip of paint on her abdomen. That's a good sign there's no more bees up in the limb above me, so that means we definitely have the queen. Now it's just a matter of whether she's outside the box or inside the box. So now what I'm gonna do, because remember the queen can't get through this part, but the whole front of the hive, this is the front of the hive, it's got a laning right here and it's all open. So I need to get the bees off here, so I'm gonna smoke them a little bit. And they should start going in the hive. You know what? I'm just gonna tape it, because that ain't fitting. I'm gonna tape the front. I smoke them good. Smoke them real good so don't smash any bees here. All right, now we'll stretch this guy across, and we're gonna tape some. That's all right. All right, now the front's closed off. Now this is the area I'm concerned about because there's still a ton over on the front or on the back side here, so I'm gonna smoke them a little bit, just a little bit. Get them to start moving around. Keeping an eye out for the queen. I don't see her yet. There's actually a bottom cover, and I hope she didn't go in there where the bottom cover is. I'm gonna tape these corners up so there's no chance of her getting out. The only problem with this method is I haven't found her yet, so you know, I'm basically locking her out of the hive if she's out here somewhere. So I really need to find her. All right, so it's been a couple hours and they are hanging out consistently on top now. They are, if you can see here, I don't want to get too close because they're being a little, they're totally gone from the front here where they were. Now they're all on top. So anyway, that's a pretty good sign that the queen is in there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna wait till it gets dark when they calm down a little bit. So they calm down at night. I'm gonna put the cover on top, and then I'm just gonna transport them right over here and put them on the stand, and hopefully they stay. So man, this was an awesome blessing because we weren't paying attention to where the hive was and we weren't prepared to do a split. So Isaiah, my son, actually was inside today, and he said, "Dad, the bumblebees outside and the honeybees are stinging the bumblebee." And I looked over and the whole hive was just going crazy, and that is how I knew that they were about to swarm. So thanks to my son Isaiah for looking out, and I was able to get up here and take care of this swarm. So hopefully they stay, and hopefully we have 2 hives now. We'll see. I'll do an update later on in the coming weeks to let you know how they're doing. But that is it for today. Exciting little journey in capturing these honeybees, and I'm glad we got to do it. So guys, remember, if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. And remember, if you aren't already subscribed to our channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to get notified of our updates, just hit the bell next to the subscribe button, and you'll get notified of videos when we release them. I will see y'all in the next video.